Hello, this is AstrologerCoach Sonja Francis, and today we're going to talk about the upcoming solar eclipse, which is a super extra powerful new moon on November 3rd at 7:50 a.m. East Coast time in the US, which is also New York time, or 4:50 a.m. West Coast time in the US, which is also LA time. Now, this solar eclipse is taking place in 11 degrees of Scorpio and is the second eclipse that we're experiencing within the last 4 weeks. The last eclipse that we had 2 weeks ago was a lunar eclipse in Aries. And so whenever we're in eclipse season, it's usually a time of tremendous change. There's endings, there's new beginnings. There's a certain amount of uncertainty because we don't know quite yet where we're going and what's going to happen. You know, it's sort of like a transition time, but it is an opportunity to move to the next level in our soul's evolution. And so therefore it's a really powerful time to dissolve some of the old patterns that we've had up until now and let new possibilities emerge. And also be open to having new possibilities emerge, right? So it's definitely a time where we want to remain open and allow for the upgrade that we're experiencing or that we're receiving to happen so that we can move to the next level. Now, the last time there was a solar eclipse in 11 degrees of Scorpio was 19 years ago on November 3rd, 1994. So I want you to just think back, you know, around that time, what kind of endings and what kind of beginnings did you experience, and how did they resonate with what's happening to you right now? And of course, you know, it's not going to be exactly the same what you experienced then and what you experience now, but it's sort of like there is an energetic resonance, and we're sort of seeing similar things emerge, and we're like stepping up and moving to the next level in terms of what has happened 19 years ago, right? And the eclipses have like a 19-year cycle in that way. So every 19 years an eclipse will take place in the same sign in the same degree. Now, this particular solar eclipse has a lot of energy in Scorpio, not just the sun and the moon, but also Saturn, Mercury, and the North Node are in Scorpio. And so this is obviously a very clear message that we need to go deeper into this Scorpio energy and focus more on how we can integrate this particular energy in our lives. And Scorpio is very much about, you know, facing our fears by opening up to all parts of ourselves and embracing in particular the shadow parts of ourselves, the parts that we have suppressed or denied or rejected. And so we're getting a chance here to really kind of connect to ourselves on a deeper level. Now, shadow parts, when they're not properly integrated, they usually are very disempowering to us because we're making ourselves vulnerable to manipulation or domination through other people, or simply by that energy that we've suppressed, that when it shows up in inappropriate moments, when we're tired or when we feel stressed out, sometimes things can show up that are in an extreme way, in a forceful way, that we don't feel very comfortable with. And so these energies usually, you know, they're disempowering to us and to other people. And so it's a very important thing to actually integrate these energies so that we can actually connect to our inner power more fully. We can reclaim ourselves as a whole human being. And the more whole we can be, the more powerful we can be. So it is a very important process that is a very scorpionic process. It's about transformation. It's about you know, bringing lightness to the dark places in us, right? And so a question that you can ask yourself with this solar eclipse is, you know, what are some of the qualities in your life that you have disowned or suppressed or rejected about yourself? You know, whether that was because they weren't accepted in your when you were growing up with your family, or by society, or by the peers, you know, by friends of yours, or, you know, maybe you rejected them because you had disempowering experiences with other people that that showed you a particular energy as something that is not good, or that something that's bad, and so you rejected all of that because it seemed something that you didn't want to embody. And so, but of course what we do is when we reject a particular energy that we experience on an extreme level, we're also rejecting all of that energy, not just the extreme version of it, but also the healthy version of that energy. And so I always say it has a lot to do with, you know, knowing where we want to turn the volume with a particular quality. You know, if the volume is turned up too high, then of course it's the, you know, if the sound is too loud, it sort of feels a little bit like, oh, what's this? And if it's too low, then we can't hear anything, right? So basically we want to fine-tune the energies and find a way to find a station or a volume that feels comfortable to us with all of the energies that are in us, inside of us. Now, each moment we do have a choice. Each moment when we're connecting to another person, when we're doing something for ourselves, we always have the choice to come from love or to come from fear. And the more we can decide to come from love and open up, the more we can empower ourselves and other people. The more we decide to come from fear and shut ourselves down and be on the defense, the more disempowered we feel in our lives, and the more we feel victimized maybe also by other people, or we victimize other people, right? So the key here is really to make that choice, to make the choice of love rather than fear with the solar eclipse, right? Now, of course, the more you can merge a deeper connection to yourself, the more authentic you can be in the world, the more passion you can bring into the world, and the more whole you can be, the more wholeness you can actually experience within yourself. And that, of course, then connects you to your own inner power, and you can handle life much better, and you're more resourceful in life, right? And so we need to take responsibility for these shadow parts so that we can feel more empowered and stronger in the world, and so that we can make a difference in the world and bring ourselves to the world fully and authentically. Now, Pluto, which is the ruler of this solar eclipse, is making an exact square with Uranus again, which it's been doing that for several times now, 3 times already, and this is the 4th time it's making an exact square. And you know, we started feeling these squares already in 2011, and I've talked about them already many times, and they're going to happen until 2015. That's when the last exact square will happen. And so we're really feeling with each of these squares, we're feeling another push forward. We're feeling this sense that the universe is trying to say to us, take a leap forward, play a bigger game, you know, be yourself and be authentic, and make the necessary changes in your life so that you can grow, so that you can you know, you need to stretch yourself. You need to kind of like stretch and grow so that you can be more fully and authentically yourself in the world and make a difference on an individual level and on a global level. Now, Pluto is also making a grand trine in this solar eclipse chart to Mars in Virgo and the South Node in Taurus. And so this is sort of, the grand trine is usually a very supportive energy where the energy flows between those points and planets. And so this means that we're getting a support here to let go of all of the attachments that we have in regards to safety, especially material safety, or any attachments that we have in regards to values that are no longer serving us, that are no longer serving us here now in this moment in time, in this experience of ours in terms of moving forward. So so this is a very powerful mixture of energies, of course, with Pluto and Mars being part of that grand trine. And so we're definitely getting the message here that we're definitely aligned, and we have the support of fully taking action through our passion and through our something that we feel deeply connected with in terms of long-term goals, and kind of bringing that into the world. And so it's a very strong energetic placement as well. Now, the other two things that I want to mention with this solar eclipse is Jupiter and Neptune are stationing at the time of this eclipse, which means that their energies are going to be more exalted. A station is always when a planet slows down right before it changes directions. So that has to do with change in our lives as well. Something's changing, something's shifting. And so we're feeling these energies more fully. And both of them are in water signs. Jupiter is stationing in 21 degrees of Cancer, and Neptune is stationing in 3 degrees of Pisces. So this is definitely connected to our emotional bodies, because the water sign has very much to do with our feelings, with the flow of things. So we're really getting to experience this more fully right now. With Jupiter stationing, we're getting to see, how can we create new perspectives around self-care? How can we take care of the balance between giving and receiving? How can we allow ourselves to be vulnerable with other people, within our family, with the people that we live with? How can we be see a possibility here of growth and opening when we allow ourselves to have feelings, right? With Neptune stationing there, the message has to do with, connecting to our inner compassion, the ability to be compassionate with ourselves and with other people, and also to kind of be really present in our lives, be present with what is true right now in this moment. What are we sensing? What are we experiencing? Getting connected to our intuition, to our sixth sense, and having faith that we are fully in alignment always with the universe, with our higher selves, that we're being guided, that we're being, that by being open to all of this, that we are safe all the time. And so, with Neptune be stationing and going direct again after a 5 months retrograde phase, there's definitely the question that we can ask ourselves is there anything in our lives that still needs dissolving? Anything that's keeping us from being fully interconnected with everything around us? Anything that keeps us from being fully compassionate and loving in our lives, with ourselves, with other people? So that's the Neptune-Jupiter station. Now, in general, I would say with the solar eclipse, definitely allow for the templates, the new templates to download, the consciousness upgrade, be open to that. Whatever needs to unfold will unfold within the next 5.5 months. That's when the next solar eclipse will take place in a different degree of Scorpio. But we're definitely, each solar eclipse has like a different message, and so the 5.5 months following each solar eclipse will have us is the time where things manifest and unfold that are the message of that particular solar eclipse. So we're definitely getting to see that within the next 5.5 months. And we also, of course, with every new moon, we want to set intentions. We want to set new moon intentions. And with the solar eclipse, the new moon intentions become more powerful because we're setting these intentions for the next 5.5 months. So make them really good intentions. And the best time to set intentions during a solar eclipse is 48 hours after the solar eclipse has been exact, because there's still such a big time of downloads coming in during the time of the eclipse that we don't want to set intentions right after, not like we do it with a regular new moon. So the best time to do it, and we of course always want to avoid also moon void of courses, right? So the best time to do it with this solar eclipse is November 5th from 7:50 a.m. on until 11:48 a.m. East Coast time in the US, New York time, or November 6th, 4:44 p.m. until November 7th, 7:50 a.m. also East Coast time in the US, New York time. So if you live in a different time zone, please feel free to plug in these New York times into a time converter on the internet. You can Google time conversion, And you can plug in these times for New York time and then put your own time zone underneath, and then it will give you the conversion for when this is, what the timing is for you. But if you have questions about that, if you're confused about that, please feel free to reach out to me via email and just ask me about that. My email address is sonja@astrologercoach.com. That's SONJA at astrologercoach.com. And the last thing I want to say is that, if you have any personal planets or points in your birth chart that are between 9 and 13 degrees of Scorpio, Taurus, Leo, or Aquarius, this solar eclipse in these next 5.5 months are definitely going to be more powerful for you in terms of changes that will occur. However, all of us will experience this eclipse somewhere in their birth chart. So there's one house in your birth chart that will be affected, or where you will see the changes happening. And each house in a chart is an area of our lives. So if you want to know where this is taking place in your personal chart, please feel free to reach out for a mini reading, of course. I'll be happy to assist you via Skype or phone. And the fees for my sessions are on my website at astrologercoach.com/services.html. So feel free to go to that website and just see what's available, how much everything is. And also at the very bottom of that page is an online form that you can fill out where you can give me all your data, so that way I have everything that I need to prepare a chart for you, and then we can schedule a session right away for our reading. All right. The last thing I want to mention also, if you want to understand your birth chart a little bit better yourself, if you read my weekly blogs every week, let's say, and you're trying to see how does that fit with me, how does that fit with my birth chart, and you want to kind of empower yourself a little bit more to understand, how you can align yourself with these energies more fully. I do have an intro course coming up for Soul-based Astrology on November 18th at 6:45 p.m. East Coast time, which is a Monday. And I'll be very happy to have you there for that intro. If you are watching this video right now, I want to invite you to join me for free. Normally the course is $25, but if you send me an email and you write a solar eclipse video into the subject line, then you can join me for free, okay? I just wanted to make that available for everyone who's watching my videos. And this will be a 1-hour course where you can also ask your own questions at the end of the course. So I'll be happy to answer anything that you, questions that you might have about signs or planets or aspects or anything that your heart desires. All right. So have a fantastic solar eclipse. I'm looking forward to being in touch and connecting with some of you in my intro course. And I will see you soon. This is Astrologer Coach Sonja Francis. Goodbye.